Hi, I'm Tom. This is Mina, and this is Kitty Help Desk. So today I wanted to continue the Don't Believe the Quacks series with a focus on chiropractic care for cats. Now, this is going to be kind of controversial for some of you because I'm sure some of the people watching this are probably people that go to the chiropractor and probably have gotten some relief from back pain from your treatments at the chiropractor. I used to be one of those people. I have had a history of back pain, and I would sometimes get temporary relief from a chiropractic adjustment. This was maybe 20 years ago. And then I realized that it wasn't really curing my issue. It was really just providing temporary relief. So chiropractic treatment was invented by Daniel David Palmer in 1895. And he was a spiritualist and a former magnetic healer who used his hands to create energy fields and magnetism in order to heal people. And he claimed that Dr. Jim Atkinson had taught him how to conduct adjustments to the spinal column that could cure all disease. And there's just really one problem. Well, there's several problems there. The main problem is that Dr. Jim Atkinson had been dead 50 years at that point, and Daniel Palmer claims that the spirit of Dr. Atkinson is the one who taught him chiropractic care. So the claims kind of escalated from there. He claimed that he cured one man of deafness, like you could cure a person of deafness. I don't know how that works, but he claimed that and continued to claim it for many years, despite the fact that the man who was supposedly deaf, his daughter was very public about saying, well, he was never deaf to begin with. I don't know what you're talking about. And just disputed the whole claim from the word go. Dr. William Jarvis in 2007 went on the record in an article claiming that chiropractic care was dangerous and that it was, quote, bereft of scientific basis. And I have to say, after studying some of the literature and the scientific studies, that seems to be fairly accurate to me. It's never really, over 100 years that it's been around, never really added anything to the lexicon of healthcare in the world. It just continues to be kind of a sales-oriented, service-oriented task that people learn, and they set up practices and they call themselves doctors, despite the fact that they do not have medical degrees. And that kind of came about in 1922. Prior to 1922, practitioners of chiropractic care who called themselves doctors, they were generally thrown in jail because they were considered to be practicing medicine without a license. In 1922, California passed the Chiropractic Initiative Act that basically part of it said that they could call themselves doctors as long as they didn't claim to have a medical degree, that they weren't medical doctors. And really, to me, all that says is that legislative bodies and people that pass laws really don't know anything about anything for the most part. They're extremely ignorant about science. All you have to do is watch one of these congressional hearings where they talk to Mark Zuckerberg or someone from Apple about technology, and you'll see pretty quickly how little these people really understand about the modern world and technology. And I think that probably was the case in 1922 as well, when they passed this act allowing these people to call themselves doctors. Well, you can dress like a doctor and you can have an office like a doctor, but it doesn't make you a doctor. I've been to those offices, and these people, it's something that they clearly believe in. And I don't knock anybody's belief, but it turns it into more of a religious thing than it is a scientific thing. I mean, it's more akin to Scientology than it is to, real like medical practitioners, doctors, and even alternative medicine from other cultures and things oftentimes have some basis in fact that sort of makes it a viable practice. But there's really none of that here except for the fact that it does occasionally relieve certain types of back pain. I do recognize the limits to modern medicine, Western medicine. Certainly there are limits, and I found relief for my back pain by following the work of Dr. John Sarno, and later on by Alan Gordon, who is a therapist in Beverly Hills, who works with people with chronic pain and frequently relieves their chronic pain just through therapeutic sessions where they learn somatic tracking in order to follow their pain and remap that pain with their brain. It's a lot like how if someone has a limb amputated, oftentimes they can still feel their fingers because the brain still thinks that those fingers are there. It's very similar with chronic pain. Normal neural impulses are being interpreted as pain, and now we're starting to see Western medicine practices sort of pick up on this idea and accept it. And it wasn't accepted at first. But once you get clinical data that indicates that this is true, then accepting it is a no-brainer, pardon the pun. And that's the problem with chiropractic. It's been around for over 100 years, 125 years, 130 years. And there's yet to be a study that shows that it's effective at anything more than relieving minor back pain. So when it comes to our pets, I think it's a real clear indicator that this is not a valid treatment and that it should be avoided. And any practitioners who try to sell you on chiropractic care for your cat, you should really run the other way because they're just trying to make money off of you, whether they believe in the treatment or not. The bottom line is that the treatment is not going to be effective to help your cat, and you really need someone with a little bit more objective scientific bias. So, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.